Here we
We're live.
welcome, welcome, welcome.
Okay, so here we are.
Yeah.
Here we
Okay.
are. Welcome, welcome to Club Carnivore. I'm Nikki, and we've got our special guest, Aimee Perrin, and we've got George Goodenough. How are you all today? What's going on?
Well, I'm very well, thanks, Nikki. I had a mini meet up last night over in Wales, which was great fun. There were seven of us, and we had a really good time. I had a 10-ounce ribeye, cooked blue, so it was like Dr. Kilt says, black and blue, seared on the outside and very rare in the middle. I will be doing a Facebook tomorrow in which I will be describing the whole event. And yeah, it's definitely a very carnivore friendly hotel over in Wales. So if you want to learn more about it, you can look at my Facebook tomorrow. It'll be on by tomorrow evening. So there we go.
And so, how do we find you on Facebook? Do you have
George
a link?
Goodenough. That's my name. My actual it's the same as you can see there. And I think there's very few George Goodenoughs around. I'm the one that comes up first, and I've got my cap on, so you can recognise me straight away. I'm very hard to miss.
You are. So we've got our special guest, Aimee Perrin. What's going on for you today?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful fall day in Maine.
And it was really, really funny because before we were having a practice run today, and we were laughing because we were just trying to figure things out, right? But it was really, really quite funny. Because this is only my second time being on, um, having guests on StreamYard. So thank you very much for your patience as I figure things out. So that's why I'm so grateful for both of you to be here and yeah, so that we can move through this process together. But anyway, if anybody wants to join us, we have our very special guest Aimee, who is a type 1 diabetic just like myself, but she has so much experience and I'm so excited to hear your story and what happened and your experience with diabetes, how you what food choices you've made over the years, and what brought you to carnivore. What do you eat? Like, and what brought you here?
Okay, so you ready?
I'm ready.
I'll
I was born
try to
ready.
do I'll try to do the quick. I'm 71 and I've been type 1 diabetic since I was 16 in 1971. And when I was diagnosed, I knew two type 1 diabetics. One of them was a young woman. She was my best friend's sister, and she was very sick all the time. And she was always in the hospital, and she was really unhealthy, and her kidneys were bad, and she was nearly blind. And then I knew this other woman who was a member of our church where I grew up, and she was beautiful and very healthy and had four healthy children. So I think that at 16, I saw that I had a choice. So I was just going to do everything right, and then I could be healthy too. And that was kind of the whole point. So, but being the 70s, when I was in college, I got interested, or when I came out of college, I could finally stop studying when I was 22, and I could study about what I wanted to study about. So I started researching nutrition and natural healing. And I became convinced that I could heal type 1 diabetes, even though everybody in the medical profession says you can't. Like maybe if you're a type 2 diabetic, maybe you can get better and maybe you can, reverse it, but never for type 1s because your beta cells are dead. But I just ignored that and decided that I was going to try to figure out how to heal. So I figured that what we eat had a lot to do with our health. And when they handed me my diet when I was first diagnosed, and it had 6 bread exchanges every day. I'm thinking, if I ate 6 breads every day, I would get fat. They don't know anything about nutrition. So then I knew it was my job to figure out my nutrition. And that was a really good thing to learn early. So, anyway, the first thing I tried was a vegetarian diet and all whole foods. Like I didn't use anything that had, well, obviously they told me not to eat anything with sugar in it. But then when I started researching diet, I knew, like, don't eat anything with additives or preservatives, and everything was a whole food. And I was a vegetarian just because it was the 70s and it was in, and everybody thought you'd get healthy if you were a vegetarian. So I read lots of health books, and just started researching. I spent many years as a vegetarian, and then I started, let me see how it went. I added a little protein to my diet because I was seeing a woman who was going to try to help me heal. And I had, because of the type 1 diabetes, I had 2 frozen shoulders, and she was a chiropractor, and she was known for giving colonics and this special lymphatic massage. And I thought she could heal me. So I went to her and she said, I think you need to eat more protein. And she wouldn't let me come to and be her patient unless I went off of all drugs, that you can take insulin, but nothing else. And I had chronic headaches, and I took Tylenol and Advil by the handful all the time. And I had headaches like probably twice a week where I'd have to go to bed and take handfuls of Advil and Tylenol. And when she said, you can't take any drugs if you're my patient, I quit. So I quit all drugs except for insulin. And that was when I think I was about 40, 41 at that time. So I haven't had any drugs at all since I was 41. So anyway, then I found out about the raw vegan diet through a family where they put their kid on the raw vegan diet when he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and he never had to be put on insulin. And I became very famous in the movement. I started a company where I made raw food snacks and treats and chocolates. And I did the raw vegan diet with lots of fasting and all kind of healing protocols. And after 7 years, my it didn't work to heal me, and I started to have really sore joints, and the whole community, everybody about the same time started getting really unhealthy, and people's teeth would get rot. My husband had, his teeth would rot. People became infertile. Women became infertile. People just got sick. So I'm like, okay, no more raw vegan. So then I started researching the ketogenic diet, because by that time it was 2010, and keto, and what they called it first was low carb, high fat. But then I started studying the ketogenic diet and found out that, the ketogenic diet is what they put type 1 diabetics on long time ago in the 1920s. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I did the ketogenic diet with an emphasis on local food from local farms. And so all our food came from local farms, and it's actually possible to do that in Maine. It's a cool state with lots of farms, and so we did that. But it was hard for me because I knew it wasn't a healing diet. It was okay. My blood sugars were pretty good. I was okay. I wasn't getting sick, but I wasn't healing. And then enter carnivore. Uh, my husband's a famous artist, was a famous artist, and we were doing workshops all over the country and ended up in all over the world too. But we did workshops and we would travel. So we were in the car stuck with nothing to do except turn on YouTube. And there wasn't much on keto at the time, but there were 3 carnivore videos and we listened to them. There was Michaela Peterson on Joe Rogan. There was Sean Baker on Joe Rogan, and there was Jordan Peterson on Joe Rogan, the famous. So this was 2018. My husband says, I'm going to start tomorrow. And I said, well, I'm going to start when we get home because I was afraid that I'd have like some kind of weird reaction. I wouldn't be able to handle my blood sugars and stuff. So I started November November 12th, 2018. And I've been carnivore ever since. I go in and out of eating basic carnivore like beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and then doing lion. So right now I'm doing a stint on lion.
So from the beginning and until now, I have a question about C peptides. Are you willing to talk about your C peptides?
Yes,
Can you
I
tell
have
us about
had it tested. It still pretty much says that I'm type 1 diabetic. It's still low. I don't remember what it is. I've had it tested twice. And I think it's actually lower now than it was. But I don't remember the values. I think it's 0.01, or it might be 0.1. I really don't remember it. I'm going to have it tested again in November because
Okay.
I've been able to lower my insulin so much that people are telling me to get it. Somebody told me last night, a doctor told me to get it tested again last night when I was on a steak and butter gang call, and there's a doctor there, and he said, can you get your C-peptide tested? You need to have it tested again because I go like overnight, I need only half of a unit or maybe less when I'm on the
Wow.
lion diet.
Wow.
And then I only need 5 units of basal during the day.
Wow.
And then I need 1 or 2 with my meal. I'm taking a total of like 8 to 12 units of insulin, which is not very much. But
No.
it's still insulin and it's still 5 shots a day. So, yeah.
So you said 5 of the basal of the long lasting during the day, you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's incredible. So
Well, go
do you
ahead.
find that do you find that it lasts like how long does the dose will last you? Like of say if you're fast acting, how long does it last you in your
My
body?
fast acting or my slow? My basal
Fast.
or my what? Which one?
You're fast. You're fast.
Oh,
Both.
well, I take R, which is an intermediate insulin. It's called regular. And
Okay.
so it works better with meat and fat because it's slower. It's slower to rise and it lasts a little bit longer. So it lasts 5 or 6 hours. It's the perfect insulin for meals as a carnivore or even very low carb.
Hmm. So slow to rise it lasts longer. Yeah, that's
Right.
interesting. So there's difference in the insulin then.
Oh
See,
yeah.
I'm just a baby.
Well, I've looked up. There's like 30 kinds of insulin. We have to figure out which one to work with. It's a little bit ridiculous, but There's this R insulin. It's been around since they started making insulin. It's the oldest insulin. I use the old school insulin. I use for basal, I use NPH, which is the insulin that I was put on in 1971.
MPH, like M is in
N
mother, Peter.
N N as in Nancy. Nancy, Peter, Harold.
Okay.
You can
And
buy
that's
it at Walmart for $25 a vial.
wow.
And then R is called, it's regular, but it's called R. And that's the long, slow insulin that's for meals. And I usually take it after I eat instead of before I eat.
Mm.
And
You found that.
it's an old insulin too, so they don't make money off of it because it's not patented anymore. Same with the NPH. So it's only $25 at Walmart. So every month I go to Walmart and I spend $50 and I get my insulin.
Wow. Hmm. So you find some insulins you're going to take before you eat, but some you'll take after? Or what made you make that decision? I'm
Well,
just curious.
most of the time you're instructed to pre-bolus. It's called
Yeah,
pre-bolus. So when you eat carbs, you have to take your insulin ahead of time so that it will cover the carbs as you're digesting them because carbs digest quickly.
right,
But meat digests slowly.
right.
So you, even though if a regular person that eats carbs were to take R, they would pre-bolus 40 minutes out ahead of their meal. That's how they used to tell us to do it if we were using it for regular meals. But because we're carnivore and protein and fat digest slowly, you eat first. This is only if your blood sugar is good when you sit down to eat. So if your
Right.
blood sugar is in range when you sit down to eat, you eat, and then a few minutes later, you take your R insulin so that the digestion of the slow digestion of the protein and fat matches the slow work of the insulin.
Wow. Hmm. Interesting. It has been driving me up the wall. Because I'm just a baby diabetic. It's only been just over 2 years. So, and I've gained 50 pounds.
Not
I've gained,
easy to
yeah,
figure out your insulin and your food. It's extremely hard. Most people think, oh, you're type 1 diabetic. Well, you just have to take insulin. It's no big deal.
no, right.
Huge. It's a huge deal. It's extremely difficult. It affects every part of your life. You can go low and pass out. I've never passed out in 55 years.
No?
But I often have very low blood sugars and feel pretty rotten when I do. And
Yeah.
I'm
Are there
86.
times are there times where you don't feel rotten when you're low?
What's that?
Are there times where you don't feel rotten when you're low?
Well, I mean, I don't feel that bad. I just get shaky and weak if I'm below 65. I get weak and shaky. And I know I'm low and I need to do something about it right away. So I need to eat either need to sit down and eat a carnivore meal, but if it's not time to eat, then I have some mints that I eat
What are they?
because, well, I
Mints?
eat these mints.
So
They
that's a
are,
candy, like not
it's a little
not mince meat,
candy and
like
it's
candy. Okay.
organic, and that's why I use them. And there's one carb in each one. So I
Hmm.
use them if I need to raise my blood sugar say 20 points, if it's like 60 and I want it to be 80, then I would eat 4 mints because 1 mint raises my blood sugar 5 points. Now, I'm not speaking Canadian blood sugars, but anyway, and most people take glucose tabs, but I don't trust what they're made out of because they're usually made out of GMO corn. Because they're made out of dextrose turned into glucose, which is made out of corn. And I won't eat corn. I mean, this is made out of a molasses, but it's organic. And I'm hoping that it's the real deal. But, you can only do so much. And I just try not to ever need to do it. So, but I do often go low, and because I'm so sensitive to insulin. So it's like you want to be sensitive to insulin because it means you're healthy. But when you're really sensitive to insulin, it means that you could go low very quickly and easily. And you can also go very high quickly and easily. So it's a two-edged sword, I guess you say.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting to observe how the body uptakes the insulin. I struggled with when and how much and all the variables,
Oh yeah,
right?
it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. Yeah.
And I'm thinking that I might be just maybe I'm taking too much, and I'm just panicking before. Do you know what I mean? And I'll give myself more instincts. I'm like, I don't know where this is gonna go, and
Do
because
you
if it
take
starts,
so you take a basal and a bolus? You take a long acting insulin and insulin for your meals, right?
yeah.
So what happens when you fast?
Oh, I need way less insulin, and it takes it in quite fast. Like it'll start working um, quite rapidly.
So the thing about your long acting insulin is that you should be able to take your long acting insulin and not eat, and your blood sugars should stay even.
That's the baseline. That's
If
what I gotta figure out the
if
baseline.
it's going low, then you're taking too much basal insulin.
Right. I think I've got that in the bag, but it's those times where, yeah, maybe I'm just doing something and I just don't I forget. I'm not in tune enough to catch something, and
Well,
then you're
it's
going like a
not.
rodeo.
Yeah, it's not easy, and it's not going to be perfect all the time. It's like and it's all it is educated guesses. You can't, stress makes your blood sugar go up. Um, losing sleep makes your blood sugar higher. Um, you know, being chronic stress makes you run a lot higher blood sugars. It's anything that keeps you healthy is good for getting your blood sugars in balance for everybody, but us especially.
Especially. So, you eat once a day, or what's your eating schedule like?
I usually eat 3 times a day.
Wow,
I
wow.
I really like the routine of sitting down at a table and relaxing and eating. So I usually eat 3 times a day. Today I did not because my blood sugar was high at my regular lunch. So I took some insulin and decided not to eat. So I can do that. And that's a good thing about the carnivore diet. You can just not eat and you're fine. So that's what I did today. So today I will have 2 meals. But, and I've fasted before, but on, most of the time I'm eating 3 meals a day.
And do you find there's a certain time of day that your metabolism is slower and faster?
Yes. So I do eat a little bit more in the middle of the day. At breakfast, there is, because it's early in the morning, there's a cortisol rise. When you first get up out of bed. Now we're not talking dawn phenomenon. People also deal with dawn phenomenon, but that's like at 2 o'clock in the morning. That
And
can cause.
not always,
No,
right?
and I
No,
don't have it anymore because I'm so
no.
sensitive to insulin. It went away, so I don't
Mhm.
have that because I think that's a hormonal thing. That's like not a healthy thing. Not you shouldn't have to deal with it. Okay, so
No,
foot on the
I
we
agree.
ca- we, we call it foot on the floor when you
Yep.
first wake up and you're ready to go. Your blood sugar is going to rise. Everybody, but everybody else produces insulin, but we don't. So when our cortisol gets released because we're waking up, then we need to take insulin. But it also means that you're not quite as sensitive to insulin first thing in the morning. So I eat breakfast, but I don't eat a huge breakfast. I eat a smallish breakfast. Like because I'm on lion diet, I like to eat lamb for breakfast because it's a milder kind of meat than beef, and I ate just 5 ounces of lamb, and that was enough. And then at lunch, I eat a little bit bigger. I'll eat maybe 8 to 12 ounces of meat, and it's usually something like chuck roast or brisket. Um, that's usually what it is. And then at supper, I'll usually eat a burger and beef fat trimmings that I cook in the air fryer. So
And
that's on my lion diet. That's different from when I'm eating beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. But I don't know if
it's
I want to
much
talk.
different.
I don't know if I want to talk about it because I miss eggs and bacon so much.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I stopped bacon and eggs I have to stop them. I think they affect my body differently. But there's so many variables, right? There's
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
variables.
yeah.
Yeah. So exercise. What do you suggest for somebody uh, who is type one? What kind of exercise would you recommend,
Well,
or how do you address that for yourself?
right.
If you're
So
not
I
recommending.
I walk a lot, and I think walking is the very best exercise there is for metabolism. I usually get 10 miles a day. On average, I get 10, I think. Some days, if I get really busy and I can't get my whole 10 miles, but most days it's 10 miles. So I do that. And then I also do, because I don't love the gym and I have an issue with my hands where I don't like to hold weights because it makes my hands worse. I do body weight exercises like push posting my routine, my morning workout on my YouTube channel. So
Do a mean push up. I was like, God, you're just powering through them. You're
I'm
strong.
I'm actually pretty stubborn. Like I get onto something, I'm like, okay, this is really important, and I go for it. So yeah, I do those. I give myself Sundays off, but I do them every morning, and I'm pretty serious about it.
Well, for a type 1 diabetic and type 2s, your life depends on it,
Right.
right? Your
Yeah.
life depends on it. Like, there's no messing around here. I mean, some people do, but you've got different results, right? I've, 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 I've always loved exercise, but now it's my jam,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
My life literally depends on it, right? And when your toes are talking to you, your limbs are talking to you, it's like, okay, you surrender, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
serious stuff. If you don't take care of either kind, any kind of type of diabetes, you're losing body parts. So,
yeah,
you know,
that's
it's
that's no
important
joke.
stuff. It's no
Yeah,
joke.
no, that's no joke. No, yeah, I had no idea when I first got diagnosed how serious it was. Like I had no clue, no clue. And I do find that there could be more education in the world regarding diabetes. Like why you think we could benefit more?
Oh, sure. Yeah, because, it's very interesting. I think that the pancreas is or maybe the beta cells that produce insulin. It feels like it's kind of a biologic mistake. It it gets it gets in trouble too easily. Like little kids get diagnosed with type 1 diabetes for no reason at all.
Wow.
It's so much that we don't understand, and there's more and more and more type 1 diabetes. And it's one thing about type 2, we all need to change our diets and get off of grains and sugar, and that's one thing. But I actually think that for type 1 diabetics, if we wanted it to stop, if we wanted to eradicate it, we'd have to have several generations off of all grains, all sugars, and most vegetables. I mean, we just have to be carnivores for generations. Just like, I'm going to say it, just like Pottinger's cats. It would take generations of being either carnivore or keto, close to carnivore, to eradicate type 1 diabetes. And I think that we could do that, but it's not going to be in our generation.
Mm. Mm. I
But
haven't read
I'm still working on healing. That's why I keep coming back to the lion diet. I'm still think that I can figure it out. I'm just not sure what to do next. So
yeah, why stop learning? Why stop even like why give up, right?
right.
What's
Yeah.
the point of that? It's a lifelong learning, right?
Well, and I actually have heard many newly diagnosed type 1 diabetics go carnivore, and they are able to not take insulin. I've heard a lot of stories like that.
Wow.
A lot.
Really, and how long
Um,
does it take them to get there?
well, it's different for every person. I always tell Rachel's story. So Rachel Chalmers is from New Zealand, and she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, but she also had other health issues at the same time. And she took insulin for 13 years.
Wow.
And her husband found out about the carnivore diet. So they both went on the carnivore diet because he had health issues as well. And she decided to go on the lion diet. So she went on fatty meat. And in 5 months, she was off her insulin, and she is still off her insulin.
Wow. Wow.
So she's still around. She has a Facebook group called NZ, like New Zealand, NZ Carnivores. And she's not active on it a lot because she has a busy life, but she has her story in the I started to say show notes. She has her story in the files, and it's a very interesting story. I've talked to her at length on Facebook Messenger, and she's told me her story. She's told me I could share it, and so I do, because I think she gives a lot of people hope.
Wow.
Now, it's
Fascinating.
similar to the stories that you hear from Dr. Chafee, is that he has treated a few type 1 diabetics. And I think it was also Dave Feldman, but I'm not 100% sure if that's who it was, but I think it was. If you get a type 1 diabetic newly diagnosed, but all their beta cells aren't dead yet,
Hmm.
and it's an active condition, and it's an inflammation of the pancreas. This is actually what I think happened to Rachel. Then if they go on the carnivore diet, they can get well and they can heal. But I have heard many stories. So it takes a lot, and it takes a lot of hard work, but it takes determination, but it is possible. Not for everybody. Like, I've been carnivore for 7 years, you know, and I've been I've done the lion diet for 3 months at a time, twice, maybe 3 times, twice. And I've done a couple of months, 1 month, two separate times. So it's going to take more than just the lion diet. You know, I work with my circadian rhythm. I'm out at sunrise and at sunset. I try to get really good sleep. You know, I do all the things, but there's something else. There's something else. I just don't know yet. Red light, I don't know. Something.
Yeah. So if somebody just got diagnosed today and they're watching this show, before I ask it, what would you say to them? If anybody has any questions, if you want to come online, join us and join the conversation. You're welcome. And if any, I don't know if anybody can see Facebook because I can't see Facebook. So if you're watching, hello. So yeah, jump on in. But so I just so Susie just got diagnosed today. What are you gonna say to her?
Well, I'm going to say you need to read Dr. Bernstein's book, Diabetes Solution. And he recommends a very low carb diet, 30 grams or less. But I think your best chance is to go on the carnivore diet, and your best chance is to go on the lion diet, ruminant meat only, and water and salt. And I'll help you if you want to talk to me about it.
Yes, we've got a pro right here. She knows what she's doing. So, what would you say about sardines and fish?
I don't like fish, and I haven't eaten sardines. I don't trust. I know the carnivore people, they love sardines. I don't trust them. I've heard horror stories about how they're harvested. I don't trust the can that they come in. If I was going to try them, I might try glass, but
Hmm, there's
I
an
have
idea.
heard I have heard things from, so this guy who is I'm on his Facebook group he's a carnivore, and he has a canine carnivore Facebook group. So it's a carnivore dogs. It's for carnivore dogs.
Okay,
And
okay.
he posted a video of how sardines were harvested, and it's a very horrible, scary video that they are just, you don't want to eat them. So
Hmm.
I know a lot of people think they're awesome, and I trust a lot of people. So it's a confusing topic for me because I love Dr. Boz. I sat next to her in Boston at our Boston meetup. She's a sweetheart. I think she's very knowledgeable, and she's really into sardines. Then I trust this guy because he knows about feeding dogs, and he's not stupid, and he's a carnivore, and he does a lot of research. So I don't really know where because I don't like them. If I open a can of sardines, I might vomit. The smell is very offensive to me. So, like when my
Yeah.
husband was alive, if he was eating sardines, he'd have to go in the other room. So,
Aw.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know.
hmm.
It's an
I
unknown.
but I find when I do the sardines, my blood sugar, it's just my body loves it. Loves sardines. Loves
Well,
salmons. Loves salmon. Loves sardines.
oh, that's interesting because
Loves them.
a really long time ago, there was this diet. I think this guy is still alive, but his name was Dr. Perricone. And he
What's
had Perricone,
how
uh,
do you PERR
Perricone, I think. This is
PERR?
a this is a long time ago. This was, let me think. How many years ago was this? Right before, no, right after. I think it was about 1998. He had a book, and he was pushing this diet. It was an anti-inflammatory diet, and he was a dermatologist. And he said, if you do this diet, you won't get wrinkles. So I was all into experimenting. And anyway, it was a paracone diet, and you had to eat salmon for almost every meal. It was high in salmon. You had to have wild salmon and lots of pears for some weird reason.
Hmm.
And I was at the time was not even eating fruit because I was on Dr. Bernstein's diet, which is no fruit at all. But I was wanted to try this diet. And I used the least amount of insulin that I have ever used other than the carnivore diet and keto, but keto and carnivore. But I was on a lot less insulin at the time because of that paracone diet. So it was, you know, true. There's something about salmon. Maybe it's the omega 3s. And I don't know, but you know what I found out?
What?
Lamb has more omega 3s.
I know.
And
And my body
I
loves lamb
feel
too.
really good. I feel really good on lamb. And
Yes,
I wish if
me
I
too.
could afford it, all I would eat just lamb if I could
Yep.
afford to. I should rephrase that. Maybe if lamb was a little less expensive, I would eat only lamb.
Yep.
It's
Um,
still not a very good statement, but oh well.
um, George, do you have any questions for Aimee? Or can you see any questions coming up anywhere
Yeah,
else?
no, I'm very interested in the lamb side of things because I always maintain that if I could eat one thing for the rest of my life, it would definitely be lamb. Thankfully, lamb is cheaper in the UK because I think we are quite a big producer. It was more expensive than beef, but I've noticed that since about of January of this year, beef has gone up, whereas lamb has stayed absolutely stable. So now I buy my day-to-day steaks in Aldi, and at the moment, an 8 ounce ribeye is £5, £5 English 69, whereas a 10 ounce lamb leg steak is £4 99. So you get an extra 2 ounces of lamb for less than the price of an 8 ounce ribeye, or even a sirloin, because that's £5 49. So yeah, my I tend to eat mostly lamb now. I My story is I was a type 2 diabetic, which is much easier. It is reversible, as I have proved in the last 3.5 years. The doctor, when I was originally diagnosed in March of 22, issued me with two prescriptions. I know one was metformin. I'm guessing the other one might have been statins, but it didn't really matter because thankfully a nurse told me that all carbs are sugar. I was able to go away, do the research. I threw away the prescriptions. I never cashed them in. And within 5 months of eating low carb, because I hadn't heard of carnivore, I had reverse type 2 diabetes. So yeah, my story is type 2 diabetes, and I've proved that it's not the problem that type 1 diabetes is. So yeah, those are my thoughts at the moment. Yeah, definitely I definitely on board with the lamb. As I said, I was a type 2 diabetic. I've long since not been a type 2 diabetic for more than 3 years now. So it's a happy story.
And do you fast? How do you manage? What's a typical management
Right. Okay.
for you?
So when I was healing, I used to fast quite a lot. I used to do 60-hour fasts from Sunday evening through till Wednesday morning. So that was my fasting. However, since I've healed and I now weigh the same as I did when I was 19 years of age, I find that I don't need to fast apart from therapeutic fasting. For example, I got caught out by some seed oils fairly recently when I was out and about, and I ate some burgers, and I didn't realize I trusted the sauce, but I saw they were cooked in sunflower oil, and and the next day I was my gastrointestinal health was not good, so I put in a 48-hour therapeutic fast, which cleared my system. But I'm maintaining a very solid weight now, and I'm maintaining a very solid HbA1c. and waistline. So basically, I'm in maintenance mode now, and I eat fairly normally. So, like Amy, I probably eat 2 to 3 times a day, up to 30 ounces of lamb steak every day, or I do vary it up sometimes. So yeah, that's my story really. My story was one of I weighed 293 pounds when I started. I weigh 174 pounds, 173 pounds now, so 120 pounds down. And fasting was very much part of that regime, but it's now purely for therapeutic reasons. And I know that Dr. Kiltz believes in fasting for the sake of it. However, I just get very hungry, to be perfectly honest with you. And I have a hernia, quite a severe hernia. It's the one thing which won't cure on carnivore because it's basically it's for life. It is, but I have spoken to Dr. Kiltz about it, and it is fixable. Unfortunately, in this country, I'm on a very long waiting list. Although I am on a waiting list, one thing I will say though is that when I go for my daily walk, which is about an hour at the moment, maybe 2 to 3 miles, then I notice that it helps my circulation and the hernia is less troublesome. It hurts less. There is less inflammation, so that it is manageable. I think the daily exercise of walking helps. Obviously, with a hernia, I can't do heavy lifting and I can't do strenuous exercise, but that walking every day definitely makes a big difference. I walk briskly until I'm just gently perspiring, so it's not it's not a strenuous cardiovascular exercise. Just until I'm feeling warm with a little bit of dampness of perspiration. So that's my exercise regime.
So what would you say to somebody, to Joe, who has just been diagnosed as type 2 today? And what would you say to him?
Type 2 diabetes is reversible. It is curable. I would say exactly what Nurse Catherine Moran said to me. All carbohydrates are sugar. Go away, eliminate the carbohydrates. You can do what I did because I hadn't heard of carnivore, so I went away and gradually did the research. First things I got rid of were all the cakes and the pastries, the pizzas, and anything with grain in it, the bread. Next thing I got rid of was the root vegetables, so the starchy vegetables, the potatoes, the beetroots, the parsnips, the Swedes, etc., etc. Then I was still eating quite a lot of fruit because at that time, believe it or not, I actually believed that fructose was good for you. But then I learned about the horrors of fructose, so fruit went. I still had the leafy green vegetables. I was had a massive success on that, and I still had the salad vegetables because I don't half like a raw onion and a tomato and cucumber with my burger on the barbecue. But then eventually I discovered about the horrors of fiber and that fiber is a gut irritant and it was causing my IBS. So in the end, when I eventually found the carnivore community, my very first friend in the carnivore community was a guy called Larry Allhands. He was a retired chief warrant officer from the Texas National Guard. His name was Carnivore Soldier on YouTube. He interviewed me. I told him about the salad vegetables with my barbecues, and the next morning he convinced me to stop all salad vegetables as well. So thanks to Larry, he's my first friend in the carnivore community. So it was a carnivore community which brought me safely to carnivore. And now, as I think you people know, I am very much intent on creating a global carnivore community. I'm the representative, along with Stephanie and her sister Nikki from the UK, on our course. Nikki, you yourself, I think, are Canadian. Am I right in thinking that?
I'm Canadian, yes.
Yeah. So straight
In
away
Alberta.
here, yeah. So straight away this evening we have a tri nation panel from Canada, from England in the UK, and from Maine in the United States. So the global community is taking off. We're all supporting each other. I have recently been to the United States in Wyoming. I had a fantastic time. I now have a new family, a new community in Wyoming. I will be returning there next year for the beef roundup. So yeah, I am. Yeah, I am just amazed at the way carnivore has changed my life, not only in health terms, but in terms of community and friendships as well. Because through, I found a lot of new friends, but through Dr. Kiltz, who believes in the global community, he created this course for us, and he charged absolutely nothing for it in real terms. And he gave us all the opportunity, those of us who don't have a great deal of money. I'm a blue collar worker. And it just gave us the opportunity to come on the course. I came on the course because I wanted to become a coach. But what the huge benefit I've discovered is that fantastic WhatsApp group that Bob Angle from Carnivore Talk, he suggested it, and it was actually Stephanie Taylor from the UK who thought, oh, I can do that. So she and her sister put together the WhatsApp group. I think we have about 42 members now. We are all friends. We are all supporting each other's channels. And it's not only that, but of course, we set the WhatsApp group up because we're a class. So you think, okay, well, when the class finishes, then that's the end of it. But it's not, of course, because that WhatsApp group is ours for life now. And we are all going to be friends for life. And we're all going to work on each other's channels. Incidentally, Nikki, you are ahead of me because I have yet to work out how to get two people on the screen at the same time. I use mine as a news broadcast channel. I sort of do weekly updates, what's happening in my life. But I have to start doing interviews fairly shortly. For a start, I promised at least 3 people that they are going to be coming on with me in October, and including Dr. Kiltz, because I've got him booked in. I think I'm trying to establish with Ali. I think it's the 7th of October. So yeah, I will very shortly be joining the YouTube interviewers through StreamYard. So I look forward to having yourselves and people like CB Carmack and Thomas Pruitt. All of our group. I hope we will all get together and we will all share each other's channels, and it's just great fun, really, isn't it? It really is great fun.
It is fun. We were laughing, me and Aimee.
We were trying to figure it out.
And she's like,
I'm like you, George. I have a channel. I've had it for over a year. But I just like sit in my kitchen in front of my cast iron pans and talk at my kitchen table about whatever I'm interested in exploring. And I want to have interviews, so I'm going to have to figure it out too.
Yeah, me too. Well, exactly.
We were having so much fun, and we were laughing, and it's like I can't even understand. Like we couldn't even understand what they were saying, but anyway.
Yeah, just a quick word on the channel. It was actually a lady from California.
Hi, Cheryl.
It was actually a lady from California who talked me into doing a channel, because I discovered her about September last year, and she was reaching out to any carnivores who would try and help her. Her name is Dawn Bahula from UCAPA in SoCal, Southern California. Her channel is Life After 60 with Resting Witch Face, and she made a really clever video. It's entitled "Why I Hate in Capital Letters Carnivores." So I went into that video where looking for a fight, basically. But she actually said, I don't hate carnivores. I'm just jealous of carnivores. I hate them because I hate them. And she sort of said, I want to be one. So I from 5,500 miles away, I put my arm around her and I said, come on, Dawn, we can do this. And so I put her through a sort of boot camp, helped her through some pretty horrendous mistakes when she was trying to lose weight too quickly. And put her right. And after we succeeded in about December, she said, come on, George, you need a channel. So I actually started my channel on my telephone. And basically it was very, very, well, silly. It is very amateurish. But as you can see, I now have a computer. I have an office. So I'm a bit more professional now. Stephanie Taylor, our classmate, is very kindly giving me some StreamYard lessons. She gave me a StreamYard lesson tonight. We're going to carry that on during the week. I also have, just as a matter of interest, I can't remember whether it was one of you guys who asked me about it, but I definitely flagged up this book. It's called How to Become a YouTube Influencer. And there's the back, and there is the ISBN number. I'll tell you what, anybody who's watching, I will once again post this on our WhatsApp group. So if anybody thinks it's a good idea, you can find it. This was I don't know how much it cost. This was a birthday present from my daughter, so she knows that I'm a bit of a techno idiot. So she took pity on me and got me that. Because I'm so busy with everything at the moment, I haven't really had a chance to read it. But I'm just waiting until we finish the course, and then that won't be at the front of my mind anymore, and I can concentrate on becoming a good YouTuber. That is my next step. Although I'm actually better on Facebook. As I said, I am George Goodenough on Facebook, and I do a lot of carnivore content. I'm using it kind of I'm a bit of a frustrated journalist, so I'm doing photo magazine type articles on Facebook. If you come and find me, if you want to become my friend, make sure you put in the fact that you're a carnivore on your profile or something. We'll just mention it, because I do get some odd friendship requests sometimes, which I've made a couple of mistakes there, thinking that everybody's carnivore, but not everybody is. And yeah, I've had a couple of marriage proposals, a couple of propositions, and everything else. So, and
Oh
my
yeah.
wife, yeah, exactly. My wife always picks up on those. She's the first one to do so. So, yeah, just make sure that you're either a mutual friend with any of us, or you are a full-blown carnivore yourself, and I will gladly accept you as a friend. And you can see some of the work which I'm doing on Facebook now.
So what kind of photos do you like to take?
Right,
I
for
don't do
example,
Facebook
yeah.
anymore, so
Okay, right, fair enough. So I did 4 days in Wyoming. So I did the lifestyle in Wyoming with the horses and the cattle, and the homestead, and also the landscape around there. We went to Yellowstone Park, so I got photographs of buffalo and elk and
oh
all those
wow.
sort of things, and the waterfalls were fantastic. And I got photographs of the Hancock Ranch, which was just miles and miles of empty landscape, which for us is very unusual. It's just I think Montana's known as the sky state, but Wyoming I think is the equality state or the cowboy state, but it's just it stretches for miles and miles. I saw antelope. I was very delighted to see antelope out on the ranch, because my mother was a great fan of Bing Crosby, Home on the Range, where the deer and the antelope play. So I actually went out and saw the antelope playing on the range. So exactly, Nick, you got it. Yeah. So yeah, it's very exciting. So I
My
did that,
dad
and
was
then
saying that.
yeah, and what I'm doing now is something which I think the carnivore world needs, and that is I am doing visits to hotels and to restaurants, and I'm assessing them for carnivore friendliness. Now, the one that I've just come from last night, I was there with Stephanie, and another English carnivore sorry, Welsh carnivore. I do apologise, Tim Rendell. Yeah, Tim is a Welsh carnivore, and there were another three carnivores there, including myself. And I was very impressed, because when I asked for my 10-ounce ribeye without any plant material on the plate whatsoever, and could I have it properly blue, it turned up properly blue with zero plant, no size, just a 10-ounce ribeye on the plate. It was absolutely fantastic. And then I looked at the dessert menu, and there was a Welsh cheese board on there. I forgot to ask not for any veg, but so it turned up with celery and grapes. But I simply pushed that to one side of the plate, and I had a very delightful, Welsh cheeses. I don't eat cheeses at home usually, but when I'm out and about, then cheese is kind of my carnivore junk food. So yeah, you will see if you do find me on Facebook that gets a 10 out of 10, because the service was fantastic and the room itself was fantastic as well. So it was,
So
yeah. I'm a great believer in the mini meetup. I'm a great believer in just a few local people getting together. Stephanie and I live 55 miles from each other. We're about an hour away, so it's
nice.
easy for us to visit each other, and to go to. And she came down for the Great British Meetup, and she stayed in my local hotel, the Tudor Hotel in Bridgewater, and I've trained them as carnivores now. And the breakfasts that we had up there were all eggs fried in butter and bacon and sausage, and there were no seed oils involved, because we gave them they know me well enough to know that please don't put any seed oils anywhere near my plate. So yeah, that's two. So we have a hotel near Stephanie, which is carnivore friendly, and we have a hotel near me, which is carnivore friendly, which is very convenient.
So can you go over what you're doing at the restaurants again? What are like your you're going there with the purpose of what and how are you going to do
Yeah,
it?
I'm not sure. Yeah, have you? I think you would have heard of the Michelin Guide. So the Michelin Guide people go around to restaurants and they assess them and they give them ratings. Another guy that did that quite a lot was a guy called Egon Ronay. What I'm doing is the Carnivore Guide to dining out. So I'm visiting restaurants where I can get a steak, and I see if I ask for no sides, if I ask for no seed oils, if I ask for it blue, I'd just like to see how it comes out. One thing I do often find is that they won't put the sides on, but they can't resist garnishing it with a bit of greenery because the chef wants to have a bit of artistry on the plate. So
Right.
often it comes out pretty good, but it's got a bit of green, pea shoots or a rocket or a bit of a garnish on top because they just can't resist. They have to have some sort of colour on the plate. But no, I was very impressed last night because there was no colour on the plate whatsoever. It was just purely a 10-ounce ribeye cooked perfectly, and it was char grilled as well because I could see where they were cooking behind a counter. The kitchen was open. So yeah, 10 out of 10, definitely 10 out of 10. Oh, and off the back of that, my wife Lainey has just booked us back in there again for January. So we will be going back in January. So it is a revisit hotel, which is that is a 10 out of 10 basically.
So
Well,
if you're interested,
George, you could make an Instagram account about that.
Yeah,
hmm,
it's not so much an Instagram account I'm looking for. I'm actually thinking about maybe doing a book such as the Michelin Guide. And what I've actually put out to the WhatsApp group is if I can get some contributions from America, and obviously from Canada now as well, and maybe Australia, we might be able to put together an international guide to carnivore dining.
nice.
Because I know that my friend Louise Benning, who is a top carnivore here in the UK, she's actually South African, but she lives near London in the UK. She has discovered a fantastic restaurant in a city on the south coast of England, in Southampton. It's called Carnivore something. I kind of Carnish something. There we go. Yeah. Longhorn
This
Carn. Yeah, it,
there.
we can
That's
see it,
great.
Amy. Yeah,
This is a business card from Longhorn Steakhouse.
Hmm.
yeah.
They actually have these on the counters. It says carnivores wanted. So every time I go, which isn't very often, but sometimes my family goes there, and they actually have a business card that says carnivores wanted.
So, do you have a good experience when you go there, Amy?
Yes, yes. I order a steak and they
In
cook
that
it the
in
way
that case,
I.
Amy, do me a favour because I know you're very active on Facebook. Have a look at what I do and do it. Get the photographs of the place, of what you actually get. Get the photographs and then describe your experience, the good experience, because then that is how we will get the word out there to, presuming it's in Maine, to any other carnivores in Maine, and they might,
Well, I
go and
was at
start
a
using it.
restaurant yesterday. So are we
Yep,
still on? I
Yep.
was at a
yeah, we're
restaurant
still live.
yesterday with a friend, and they didn't really have steak. Well, I don't know. I don't usually order anyway. I ordered a burger and bacon, and I am on lion diet, and I don't eat bacon except when I'm out. I can't not eat it when I'm out. So
That's
what I usually eat when I'm
yeah,
out is a burger with double bacon if they'll give it to me. They would not give me double bacon, but it was a very good burger. It was cooked very well and the bacon was pretty good. I give the bacon a 5 and the burger a 8.5.
Why would they
yeah.
But
give you double bacon? What's up with that?
I have no
They wouldn't give you
idea.
like we have a no double bacon rule. No, say no to double bacon. Weird. Weird.
I might have forgotten. That's what I usually order. I might not have even have said it because I was with friends and I wasn't concentrating so much. So it might have been me, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just to go back to the hotel which I woke up in this morning, I was quite impressed with the breakfast as well because they offered what we call the full English, which includes a mushroom, hash browns, baked beans, and tomatoes. And once again, I said, please, none of that, and it came out with none of it. It was a fried egg, It was a good clean sausage, bacon, and black pudding, which is kind of a pudding made from. It's kind of I think the other name for it is blood pudding sometimes.
Blood
So
sausage, blood pudding.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Yeah, exactly right. So there was no problems there whatsoever, and I just can't fault that service. I went back. I said thank you as I left, and I said I'm going to put this on Facebook, and the verdict at the end is going to be impressive. So yeah, tomorrow if you go onto my Facebook, I know you go onto my Facebook, Amy, then you
I
will see
do. I
that.
do.
Yeah, yeah, you will. I will be doing that about midday my time tomorrow. So you're 5 hours behind me, so I'll be doing about 7 o'clock your time. It should be posted by about before Dr. Kiltz comes on anyway. No, sorry, no, that's wrong. Because he's 11 o'clock my time. It will be posted. It will be posted by lunchtime at your end. I would hope. So keep an eye open for it.
Well, I'm too afraid to eat fried eggs out. I eat poached when I'm
Yeah,
out.
that's true.
Why are you afraid?
Yeah.
Oh,
Seed
because
oils.
I don't trust what they cook.
Oh,
They unless
right.
my son actually owns a restaurant and he will cook an egg in with bacon grease. But before he started using bacon grease, I got poached eggs there because I taught him how to make hollandaise. I can get real hollandaise with just the real ingredients, egg, lemon juice, and butter with salt. So I get poached eggs with hollandaise. If I know the ingredients wherever I am, I'll like ask the chef, and of course lots of bacon and sausage.
Well, it's just 8 minutes past the hour. I think we'll wrap this up fairly soon, unless anybody wants to come on and say hello. Then we'll wrap this up and we'll be back again. We're here every Sunday at 1 p.m. MST.
Absolutely.
And thank you so
Yeah,
much.
which is
there any last
8 p.m. BST. Yeah, we had a bit of a chat yesterday, Nikki, and I totally agree with you. I think we can go down the route of asking people at carnivores, what makes you tick? What interests you? I mean, the three subjects which I'm going to be covering are, we talked about it yesterday.
Yes, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, no worries. It's good. Okay, so it's going to be mushrooms. Probably won't be next week. I'll tell you for why, and that's because it's the mushroom season here in the UK. I'm going to be very busy this week. But what I want to do is, because I no longer collect mushrooms, but I like looking for them, I'm going to go out with my camera and I'm going to do what I'm going to call a mushroom safari here in the UK. And I'm going to send the photographs of the results to you. So that will give you a chance. If you learn how to put up photographs, then you'll be able to show them. But another big passion of mine is thoroughbred horse racing. So I will talk a little bit about that and what we do here in the UK, because obviously you have thoroughbred horse racing over there. The Kentucky Derby, for example, the Triple Crown. And the other one is, as I think probably you know from my contributions to the WhatsApp group and the lessons, I'm very good at history. I'm not so good at science. I'm very, very good at history. And I've studied intensively some of the people from history on both sides of the fence. So some of the heroes, like William Banting, for example, Wilhelm Stefansson, and people like that, Professor John Yudkin. And I've also studied the villains of our piece, the Ellen Gould Whites, the John Harvey Kellogg's of this world, the Ansel Keys, Ivan Francis, and so yeah, I want to talk a little bit about some of the key characters, both the heroes and the villains as well. So those are the three subjects I will be covering over the next 3 weeks when you give me a 5-minute platform. We'll talk, and I think if we can get CB on with the mushrooms, because he's suddenly become the fun guy as he would describe himself, because he's a great joker. Yeah, so if we both can do, Nikki, because he's on the WhatsApp group. He's in our class.
Right.
Yeah, so well, I don't know whether if we've got anybody who's interested in thoroughbred racing in the States, but that would be interesting if we could find somebody who could talk a little bit about that versus what I'm talking about. And again, obviously the history side of things as well. If we can get somebody on to as a commentator on that, that would be quite nice as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 3 weeks. So you definitely booked me for 3 weeks. Hopefully, I will. I won't upset people. So we might even take it take it on a bit further beyond that up towards Christmas. And I might be able to find if we can sort of get it going a bit. I've got one or two people outside of our WhatsApp group. For example, we had the wonderful Angela Lero on tonight on Sunday School Carnivore. She's got an incredible story and is very good friends with such people as Dr. Kiltz and Anthony Chafee and that sort of thing. And we've got some other fantastic people from outside the group coming up as well. Actually, to be honest with you, Dr. Kiltz the other morning said, I sure like, I'm going to come on anybody's channel who asks me. So I immediately jumped up and I said, Dr. Kiltz, do you want to come on Sunday School Carnivore? He said, I'd love to. So that was it. Straight away, I wrote to Ali and Steph and said, get it together. So yeah, we've got Dr. Kiltz coming on Sunday School Carnivore on November the 23rd. I'm doing a live with Kerry Mann this Thursday,
Wow.
which is 7:30 p.m. BST. So take away 7 for you, Nikki, and
Okay.
which is MST Mountain Standard Time, isn't it? Take away 7 hours from 7th, so that'll be 1:30 your time, I think,
Okay, thanks.
or
Yep.
12:30. I can't work it out. And I'm 5 hours in front of you, Amy. So it's 7:30 p.m. British summertime. So it's easy. It's going to be 2:30 p.m. for you, Amy. But myself, Stephanie, a guy called Carl Day, Lauren Tucker, who is in Healing Humanity, and Kerry will be the host. So that will be good. And I might even be really, really cheeky and say, come on, and Kerry, when are you coming on Sunday School Carnival? You never know.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, did you know that Thomas? He asked anybody and everybody, and he secured Jen Mann for New Year's Day
That's
for January the
amazing.
1st.
Who?
Jen Mann,
Oh,
Mrs.
Jen.
Jen,
Oh,
yeah,
oh, Jen Man.
Wait,
Oh, yes.
what?
yeah.
So, that's
Yes.
Thursday, this coming Thursday?
Wow.
This coming
Wow.
Thursday, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Oh, and just as a
That's
matter of
wonderful.
interest, I then get a little break, and I'm on with Juliet, Coach Carnivore Edens. I'm on with her after Kerry, so I have a very busy schedule at the moment. I think because everybody knows me as a very willing participant on pretty much any YouTube. So yeah, uh, it's busy times, shall we say, at the moment. But I'm enjoying every second of it. You definitely got me up until after Christmas because I've given up the day job to allow myself to integrate myself with the USA and the Canadian carnivore community. So I'm living on Eastern Standard Time. I'm trying to work out how to monetize it with maybe journalism and a bit of YouTubeism and that sort of thing. I've already got a small pension from the army. If I can do that, then I won't have to go back to work. But if I fail, then come January, I shall have to say goodbye for a while because I'll have to go back to working 12-hour days in construction. But I'm hoping that that might not have to happen. But we shall have. But you definitely got me for 3 months, put it that way, as an honorary member of the North American community. I won't say the US community because it is the North American community. Oh well, I
Thank
suppose
you so
if we include Alia, she's in Bogota, so it could be
That's
this.
right.
She's in South America. Yeah. So I'll say the Americas community then. Should we put it that way?
It's going to be so much fun. I'm
It
excited.
will be. Yeah.
Excited to see what's going to happen. Amy, you look like you're going to say something.
Yeah, I'd like to just say that I do group coaching for all types of diabetics. So we work on, we meet in a group and we have a community, and it's usually on Thursdays.
On
It's
Thursdays.
Thursdays 11 Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern, or 7 p.m. Eastern. And it's
And
a
how do I
group
get a
that
hold of you?
well,
How
you
do I
just
get
get
a
a
hold of
hold,
you to?
you get a hold of me, and it's by the month. So I get, it's short a small fee every month, and then we get together and we have a WhatsApp group for each month, and then we
Nice.
do our Zoom call on Thursdays. Yeah.
So they can find you on Facebook or where? Where would you?
Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. And I am Aimee Fields Perrin on everything except YouTube. I am Brisket Boomers.
Okay, wonderful. And I'm sure we'll be hanging out here again sometime too. Yeah.
Brilliant, Aimee, and I can't wait to see your. I can't wait to see your first restaurant review on Facebook as well. So,
All right. All right.
Can I send one on WhatsApp? I'm not on Facebook, but
yes,
I
you
don't
can,
do
if
it
you
anymore.
if you wish to send me a restaurant review on WhatsApp with photographs and a write up, what I will do is I will put it on my Facebook, and I will
Okay.
credit it to you, Nikki. So that's no problems at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. If
Thank
you wish to do it, then that'd be
Can I
brilliant.
do a little
Okay.
video? What about a little video?
Yeah, I think so. I think I can put. Aimee, you know more about Facebook than me. I can post a video, can't I?
Facebook doesn't let you post pictures and videos
Really?
Oh,
on the
okay.
same post. But you can
Oh,
post videos, but it can't have any pictures. Or you can
oh,
post several pictures, but it can't
right.
have a video.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's doable.
Yeah, I do still photographs because I can get more on there. I can get up to about 20 on there at a time. So that's I do still photographs versus videos. So that's yeah. Please, Nikki, you feel free to send me photographs. Feel free to send me a write up, and I will put it. I will include it on my Facebook, and I will obviously credit you with the review. And I will also use it as an example of why we as carnivores should be out there writing these reviews so that we can actually get a database of good carnivore friendly eating out places. You know, it's going to help the movement, because one of the regular complaints I hear about from carnivores is we can't eat out because there's nowhere to go. So let's go out and find these places. Let's report them. Let's get this book going, this carnivore guide to global eating. Can't do any harm, can it?
Oh no, I was very impressed with Brown's Social House. I went there with my mom and I about a month ago, and I said I'm allergic to the oils. Can you just cook mine on a frying pan, please, with some butter? No problem. And their burger was just amazing,
There we
amazing.
go. In that
They
case,
were
we need
very
to hear about it. The world needs to hear about it.
yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah, so yay.
Excellent.
So okay, so we'll see you all next Sunday. If you want to be a guest on the show, just let me know, and we'll see you all around the playground. Thank you very much.
Cheers, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. I just have to figure out how to end
You
this.
got to press it. You got to exit.
Now,
End
where is
recording or something.
end recording?
We're still here, folks, but Nikki's trying to work it out. There's got to be a
Okay.
way of pressing end recording or something like that.
It's a
Oh,
little
end
red.
stream.
End stream, yeah.
I found it. End stream. But anyway, see you
Right,
next
okay,
time.
we'll try again. See you next time.
Thank you so much for coming. I
Okay.
really enjoyed
Bye.
this. Thank you.
We'll hang on for the
Thank you.
after show
I
party.
don't- Like it's like I feel like we're in high school again. Like when you're on the phone
Yeah.
with your best friend, like yeah, you say bye first. You say bye first.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we're still
bye.
streaming, Nikki. Press the button. Press the button.
I know.